Okay, camera. I miss my family. I have been very private with my tears, but that hasn't helped. I spent my entire life growing family professionally. I wasn't scared of Y2K. I wasn't scared of Mount Hood erupting. I wasn't scared of the whole tectonic plate making us fall into the ocean. My brother preached so many apocalypses. He scared so many people. And he collected guns. He collected barrels of grain. He collected ammunition. And what am I being punished for? Reporting violence in a state-certified child care that I certified to protect his kids before I even had mine. So I didn't want to testify and give him the satisfaction of seeing me cry. And I asked my lawyer to protect him as though he were her next client. And now we have an idiot president who is so eager to have his name remembered that he's okay with people like me just disappearing. And I've come to the realization that there is no anticipated reconciliation coming. The estrangement that I've waited for years to end isn't going to end because my mom can't see a world where me talking about myself can coexist with her covering up what her sons did. And that sucks because from inception, 1997, until I went from ICU to homeless at the beginning of 2017, that's 20 years I spent invested in people that hope that I'll die before they ever see me again. It's helpful that I can't see this video because I probably wouldn't post it. So I have to spend this year either healing or disappearing. And I don't think I am not suicidal. And that seems to irritate people more than anything, because I have a thirst for living. My brother has spent from 1992, really until the last I heard from him was when my lawyer was talking to him in court in March of 2024. I wasn't in court, I was at home. And I am not trying to... I don't want to see people who don't want to see me. But I have an identity. And I have spent a lot of time waiting for the legal system to help me out. And it's just not helping me out. It's not really made to help me out. I didn't spend my life figuring out how to mooch off the government. I spent my life as an entrepreneur who recognized that there were going to be plenty of people that are going to medical school. There are plenty of people who go to law school. My seat could be taken by any of a number of other people, but there was nobody who was going to protect my mother from her son. And my children were raised with their great-grandparents. And when my children were children, my grandparents were at their best. They had already had their own kids, they'd already had their grandkids, and they coveted every moment that they could get with their great-grandkids. And we had those conversations where, Grandpa, if you use that word, I'm not going to have my kids around you. And in the amount of time we took to get shoes off and get the kids in front of a TV so that we could have a conversation, my grandpa was usually watching something that was violent and some war movie. So we had those conversations where, you can't have people shooting each other, just put tumblers in front of you. And I know this is not a pretty video. I can't even see myself. So, I'm not trying to present that I don't even have teeth. I don't have my contacts. And I've only just now got my A1C down to the point where my contacts will even work. And so that's just one more thing to do. And for the very first time, I'm going to be talking about Kaiser Permanente a lot, because I experienced malpractice. And it seems that I should be talking about it on video instead of talking about it to lawyers, because lawyers tell you to not talk. And I don't think lawyers can speak better for me than the reality of where I am in the moment that I take a video. And I just need to get over the fact that I'm fat, and my brother will call me ugly. This is who I am. I'll get my glow up this year. I'll get teeth this year. I've only had the pain taken away since October, and it takes a while to heal from a bleeding, just when you have a bleeding disorder. And now I'm monologuing, and this is probably no longer even oh my goodness, working on 10 minutes. But this is who I am, and this is where I'm at today. And if my mother is going to be ashamed of me on my best day, she might as well see how I feel on my... I don't have bad days, I just have bad moments. I will do some things and I will feel better about myself here shortly. I'm taking pictures of photos. Jason is selling stuff on Reverb, and there's hope everywhere I look. But the heartache for family is real, and I don't want him to see this video even. Remember, I didn't want him to see me crying on the stand. But I want my kids to know. I want my mom to know that it's okay to have compassion for her daughter. I don't even hate. There's always been somebody who I'm like working on myself to not hate. When the kids were born, Andrea Gates was in the news a lot, and I had to really work on having some compassion for her. And now I have to work on having compassion for a president. And J.D. Vance, who is completely okay with normalizing hate against Indians, being married to an Indian, being the father to Indian children. My children's paternal grandmother and my grandparents joked endlessly about how he was a Nazarene pastor and she was a Russian gypsy whore. And they fed him. All you had to do to get on Grandpa's good side is have some good food, and he'll let you say whatever you want, and he'd let the old ladies call themselves, "Hi, Pastor, I am a Russian gypsy whore, and I have your food today." They were hysterical at the Salvation Army, which was the church that my husband grew up in. This is who I am tonight. This isn't who I'm going to be tomorrow. Eventually, well, not long ago, I didn't have any hair. When I had my teeth out, I didn't have any hair. So this is how long I've had my teeth out. I don't have any more pain to worry about, which means I don't have pain to distract me from the feelings. And it is overwhelming to look at MAGA and Musk and to think that they are the people representing Christianity. I'm not even sure they don't speak for me. That's how I should put it. They are not representative of my particular faith, whatever you want to call my faith, because I'm not going to justify genocide by using the words of Jesus. People who were born on the wrong side of a man-made fence shouldn't have to die so that Trump can promote real estate. I'm not trying to make this political. The tears aren't for the Palestinians. The tears are because I love my boys. I love my girls. I spent my entire life nurturing growing gankiness, enabling people to do more than they thought possible. And my mother would rather I disappeared and died, never to be seen again, than reconcile. Because I can't lie about what happened. I can't lie about what I saw MAGA doing before they seduced the world. This is who I am, but this is who I am today. It's not who I'm going to be tomorrow. It's not who I'm going to be the next day. I have hope every single day. And even however late it is right now, I know that before I go to sleep tonight, I will have spontaneous laughter because I will spend a few minutes with my partner and we'll watch some stupid videos on animals or the fail army or whatever else. But my kids deserve to know that they are missed. They deserve to know their mother loves them. And the last time I saw one of my boys, I got out of the moving vehicle because my mother made it clear that my son was going to have to also lie and cover up the violence that I reported. And the last thing I told my children, the last lesson before I left them with the family, because otherwise my choice would have been them. Otherwise my choice would have been to make them homeless too. I left them there because I wanted them to have their future without the stigma of what happened to me. And the last thing I told them was, I'm not gonna lie, but it is a skill that you are going to have to consider. And today's the day that Trump declared war. My understanding is that that's been stopped by a judge. But the sentiment is there. This is a war. I was just one of the early casualties of it. And instead of dying, I've just been isolated from everybody that I know and love. To hide MAGA violence. Before because that's not where I'm going here. My children deserve to know that they are loved. There's not a day that goes by where there's not a day that goes by where I don't think of them before I even open my eyes in the morning or the afternoon or evening, depending on what the day is. So I don't think anybody will watch this. I'm not sure I want anybody to watch this. But I want my children to know I miss them. My heart aches for them. And if I knew how to talk to them without going to jail, I would be talking to them.